Namaskar. I am Dr. Sonali Naik. Today we are going to read the third chapter from Gajanan Maharaj's Granth. Before that, let us do a meditation. Sit quietly, close your eyes, take deep breaths, relax your body, concentrate your attention on the Adhyay chakra between your two eyebrows. See that you are sitting on a beach. It is a very pleasant spot. The cool breeze is blowing. You can hear the beautiful sounds of the waves. You are deep in meditation. You are meditating on Sri Rama. Sri Rama himself is standing in front of you and seeing the Lord. You are filled with happiness and joy. You ask for his blessing. He blesses you with complete health, with complete joy and happiness. You are full of joy. Lord Rama's power protects you forever. Because of this, you are full of joy and happiness all throughout your life. Give thanks. Open your eyes slowly. Jai Gajanan. Shri Ganeshaya Nama. O Creator of the universe, you have been compassionate to all the oppressed. You are an ocean of kindness, salvation to the suffering, the wish-fulfilling tree. Be kind to me and help me in this discourse. Devotees from all over clustered at Bankat's place, where the saint stayed to have his darshan. They gathered like flies who get together around honey and need no invitation. One early dawn, the saint was sitting in a jubilant mood. It was morn with a pink glow over the horizon. Soft was the breeze with birds chirping, and it was a moment of delight. The elderly sat in their beds, chanting holy prayers as sun stole up, driving darkness away. Women of the house cleaned their yards. Calves ran to the cows for their morning's measure. It was such a great pleasure. That pleasant morning, an ascetic came from afar. His clothes were tattered. He looked like a beggar. With a poor chance to be allowed access, the rich and influential surrounding the seer. It was a tough affair. He wore a loincloth and a kerchief around his head. He had a small bag of things to offer to Sri Gajanan. He quietly sat in a corner waiting for his turn to see the pious saint and fulfill a promise. Hearing of the saint, he came from Kashi to offer him a packet of heroin. This was for a favor gained by the saint's blessing. Heroin he chose as a gift, as this he liked the finest and he thought was the best. If people knew he had heroin, they would never let him in. His thoughts were understood by Saint Gajanan, who asked the devotees to let him in. He was happy that the saint knew things. They do know the past, present, and future. He rightly expected the saint to know the purpose of his visit to the town of Shegao. Pull out your gift, said Saint Gajanan. I've been waiting for 3 months. Let us now open it here. Overwhelmed with joy, the ascetic bowed again and again. Why do you now hesitate? Why did you not think straight when you promised me a packet of an unconventional object? The ascetic was sly. Thus followed his reply. I give this to you with a simple appeal. As my remembrance, please do accept this little gift for lifetime. God and saints never reject a request. You are the incarnation of God Shiv Shankar. At Anjani's request, you became her son without bothering about the species you were requested to be born in. The saint thought it over for a while. He then agreed to the appeal. The ascetic filled heroin in the saint's pipe and offered it to him for a smoke. This is how he started smoking, but never became addicted to it. Like the lotus leaf in a pond, he stayed dry amidst water. The visitor stayed a while and left for Rameshwar on his journey. Sometimes the saint recited Vedic hymns. Sometimes he kept silent. He sang classical musical notes or chanted his favorite classical quotes. Gan Gan Ganat Bodhe was his favorite chant. He wandered aimlessly through woods as per his whim. Sometimes he slept longer, appeared clumsy for no reason. He entered households without the owner's permission. Janrao Doshmukh, a prosperous man from the town of Shega, was breathing his last. The doctors declared it as a hopeless case and summoned the relatives to be at his deathbed. They prayed to God and made vows and pledges. If Janrao is back on his toes, it did not seem to work. They approached Bankat with a request to give them water sanctified by the touch of the saint's feet. Bankat Lal, with his father's permission and the saint's consent, gave them a glassful. Jan Rao regained his consciousness with the first sip and thereafter sipped it for a week, stopping all medicines. He recovered his health free from all suffering, walked to Bhavani Ram's house for the sacred site of the Saint Supreme. That holy water had the effect of heavenly nectar. Saints are gods incarnate. Does this mean that no one would die in the town of Shegao as long as the saint remains? Saint, saints don't prevent deaths. They don't work against nature. They can avoid a disaster, unnatural or accidental. Saint Naneshwar once prevented the death of Sri Sachidanand due to an accident at Naivasi. But the person had to depart from another place called Arandi at the appointed time. To speak of death, it has three forms: natural, self inflicted, and accidental. None can avoid the natural. The others can be averted by purity and proper medication. The doctor, however, has to be clever. Death, accidental and unnatural, is the wrath of God. Be pious and religious. Pray to saints and deities to evade untimely calamity. The intensity of faith in Almighty is the essence of preventing death. In the third category, the saint you adorn should not be fake. Saffron clothes do not a sage make. He should be pious and free from the six sins. One should surrender to none else than him. Deshmukh celebrated his revival by feeding hundreds at the residence of Bankat Lal Seth, where the saint stayed. News of Deshmukh's survival reached everywhere. People gathered at the saint's from far and near. To avoid such incidents, the saint became strict and indifferent. Yet the true devotees knew his temperament and were not scared. Like the child devotee Prahlad, who was not afraid of Narsimha's fierce appearance at all. A tigress may appear ferocious to people, but not to her cubs playing in her lap. Real devotees thus were not alarmed by the stern countenance of Saint Gajanan. Now the story of Vittoba Gatto, who named himself as Kalyan, working for Gajanan Maharaj. Kalyan was the name of the devotee who helped Samarth Ramdas. Vinoba boasted that the saint always depended on him for his daily routine. A lump of earth may absorb fragrance of musk when they are together. Acacia bush may acquire sandalwood perfume when they grow near. The lump is not musk, and acacia no sandalwood, whatever their proximity be. Alongside sugarcane breeds cactus, alongside jasmine grows stinking shrubs. Saints and the fallen live together. Diamonds and pebbles are found together. A pebble is worthless compared to a diamond. It remains a piece of rock to be trodden upon. Vithoba took advantage of his closeness to the saint and boasted himself to be sacred bull of Shiva. Gajanan Maharaj, by divine vision, knew of Vithoba's boast and decided to teach him a lesson with the following incident. A group of visitors came to Shega to look respectfully at the saint. He was asleep and no one would dare him awake. They told Vithoba that they were in a rush and would like a darshan of Sri Gajanan Maharaj. Vithoba felt important and woke up Sri Gajanan. The darshan went well, but it invoked the rage of the saint. He took a baton and hit Vithoba on the head. You rascal, you have started a business here. If I tolerate you, I'll be at fault in the kingdom of God. You deserve a punishment, Gajan Maharaj said. Don't reckon liquor as sugar cane juice. Never ever consume a drop of poison. Don't let a thief come near you and let him not try to befriend you ever. Saint Gajanan knocked him down, making him run and not return. This is the way real saints behave, not like other hypocrites, falling prey to quacks, misguiding people at large. This is an antisocial act and should never be encouraged. Saints never encourage such elements and weed them out of society. A chaste lady would never like to stay in a call girl's vicinity. Gold ornaments would never compare to trinkets made of tin. Saints may accept sinners, but would never give them importance. Saints do realize that each one suffers from the sins committed in the previous life. Mother Earth allows cactus and milk bush to grow along with jasmine, each one of a different kind. Jasmine bush is protected, cactus is burnt as firewood, milk bush is hung at the door to attract insects. Saints likewise evaluate people, know each individual, offer him protection in spite of the variation. Vithoba was fortunate he could get to touch Saint's feet, but he failed to understand the greatness of the saint. If he had realized it, it would have been a divine providence and obtained him salvation. Sitting under the wish-fulfilling tree, he asked for a pebble instead of a jewel. To calm Renu, the celestial cow, he asked just for a coconut shell. No one should do thus in the company of saints. Let your mind be vigilant, alert day and night. Let these saints, praising Sri Gajanan, save the devotees in this mundane world. Jai Gajanan.